person. He lives
Spencer
here.
Pratt.
He knows what goes on.
What do you think about Pratt's unconventional
I love it.
approach?
I love it.
Who doesn't?
What is it that you love about it?
He's another Trump.
Obviously, there's an argument with no Republican at the top of the ticket in California that would have a negative impact on down ballot races.
Because he's speaking out against communism and socialism, and it is
Talking
a
about
real
Pratt.
big problem in our cities, especially in LA where it's turned to crap. It's not an accident. They're doing it by design. Karen Bass wants to destroy our city, and it's nice to see someone like Spencer Pratt.
I can simplify it because those buzzwords are like they melt the brains of like
The lefties?
leaning people. So let's just say it this way: he doesn't want you human feces to be a part of your life. Yeah. He doesn't want homeless children.
Look at the
outside
reporter.
of-
She's trying to end the feed.
Oh, you didn't like that. She ran away.
She didn't like that.
We appreciate you.
Can I get a shout out real quick?
We appreciate you. We appreciate you. We've talked a lot about the homelessness. Thank you. All right.
Listen,
don't
Liz,
appreciate you, ma'am.
I got it. Thank you for navigating that so well.
No, we can. He
I
seems
just want to
to.
shout out June Cutter, the chief of staff of Spencer. She's incredible.
Thank you. Okay, Hallie.
You mention homeless people and the media runs away. They try to pretend it doesn't exist.
California Democrats, this is a bad night for you. You've had weak candidates, and on the other side of the ledger with the Republicans, these are also candidates that, generously speaking, should not be performing as well as they are, and yet they are performing well, and this is a warning shot.
You can't handle it.
Look, I think Karen Bassett's an embarrassing performance for an incumbent mayor. If Mr. Pratt does not win this tonight, if he doesn't make it to the final runoff,
He's just got to show that she can bleed. That's
it. Los Angeles voters, the Democrats suck, and they need to do something to fix their city.
Everybody knows that.
Crazy about this race. When you look at the numbers, already right now, a majority of Los Angelinos are saying they want to fire Karen Bass. 50% of the voters that are up right now say they want somebody other than the incumbent to be the mayor. So the Spencer Pratt thing to me isn't even really about Spencer Pratt. It's a vote sink for people who are fed up with the way that city's been run or fed up with the fire response. And if this were any other city outside of California where you'd had normal primaries, Karen Bass with those numbers would be toast.
Yeah, especially if you know LA County the way you do, the way I do. 51% in, and when you look at this, I mean, this is shocking. That's the only thing I can think of. Becerra, 29. Look at that. Steve Hilton, 215,000 votes.
California's going red.
In Los Angeles County. That should tell you a lot about how a lot of people feel in the Southland about how things have been going and what they feel like might be the proper way to move forward. I'm gobsmacked by that number. Just for some perspective, let me share again. Orange County, this is what you would anticipate, right? 34 to 23, 16 for Tom Steyer. Steyer doing well, by the way, just north of Los Angeles. Let me take you over to Santa Barbara, 28, 25, 22. But even that is a big win. If you're Steve Hilton, you've got to be loving the fact that you're at 25% up in Santa Barbara County. But here's
That's
what I really
huge.
wanted to draw your attention to, if you'll allow me for just a second. I'm going to take you up to just to Northern California, sort of Central California, up to Sacramento County. Look at this. Now, it's a government town. You know that, Trace. So you would expect that Javier Becerra would do very, very well. Hilton well back, but not as far back as some people might have anticipated. But let me share this. If you go in and around Sac,
He's holding on right there.
boy, does Hilton really start to pick up numbers, and it's consistent right there,
Wow.
36 to 23. Pop over to Nevada, again, same thing, 33 to 21. It's going to be a very interesting night for Steve Hilton, and I imagine for a lot of people who didn't anticipate he would do as well as he is doing.
Democratic here, because this is the Democrats should be doing well. But look at Becerra, 29%. Hilton, the Republican, 28%. Look at the separation there between Becerra and Steyer. I think that's the most significant we've seen so far. And then Chad Bianco running back there at 10%.
You can't handle
Boy,
it.
If you're Becerra, between what you've seen so far, right here, sorry about that.
Bro,
right here.
This is not just a disastrous outcome for Tom Steyer so far. This is a disastrous outcome for Javier Becerra. Okay? Do you understand how fucking insane this is? I mean, Sacramento should not be split between fucking Becerra and the Republican, dude. What the
Republicans are taking California, boy. Get used to it. Have you ever been in a situation where you have a very long conversation, or maybe you go to a conference and you're trying to piece together everything that's happened, all the topics that were discussed, and you just can't quite really piece everything together? You end up texting a buddy saying, hey, do you remember that stock that buddy was talking about that was supposed to go up like 500%? Well, the day and age of having to remember those conversations are completely over thanks to Plaud AI. Now, my favorite out of these gadgets is the Plaud NotePro, and it fits right into a card holder and can magnetically attach to the back of your phone. And I actually use this for an hour-long conversation with a friend of mine. We were talking about very sensitive medical things, and I was like, hey man, I've got this new gadget and I just want to throw it on speaker, and it's going to record us, it's going to analyze everything and throw it into its own app and then summarize everything in different sections. Are you cool with that? And he's like, yeah, of course. I ended up sending him the script that it gave me, right? The aftermath. It's phenomenal. And that's just the Note Pro. There's also the Note Pin S, which can clip onto your shirt. And if you go to conferences or these meetings for work and you need to remember everything, Plaud AI has your back. It takes in all of the information. It's got a phenomenal voice radius, and it analyzes it in its own app, and you can search the app for things that we were discussed that you may not remember fully. Visit the link down below in the description or the pinned comment below and check out Plaud AI right now. You will not regret it.
Or it's just going to have to be such a flood of Democratic ballots coming in after, being tabulated.
They're already
after
anticipating
or
all the ballots coming in by mail.
That would just lift both Democrats.
They're telling you how they're going to try to rob it potentially.
And that's increasingly what it needs to be for Steyer.
Wild.
As a proud American, someone who loves this country so much, this is my first time running for office, and when we just passed that number of 1 million people, and it's now over 1 million, voting for me, 1 million Californians and rising, putting their hopes in me to bring change and put our state back on track. It's an unbelievable honor, something I absolutely take so seriously. I won't let people down. We've got to turn this state around, and I think tonight looks like the first step down that very important road.
60 candidates. They might as well have had Toby Durden on there. He should have ran in South Dakota and California with the amount of motherfuckers on that ballot.
We're not there yet, but it's looking good. It looks very much as if Californians really will have the chance to vote for change in November and take our state in a new direction, a fresh start for our state, which is long overdue. But I just want to say something to every single person who voted for me, and every single person who voted in this election, whether you voted for me or not. I am here for you, for every single one of you.
I'm personally of the mindset that having a Democrat running against Hilton is better than having two Democrats duking it out. Now, there are arguments you can make both ways.
What about the threading the needle that we're seeing, obviously, with someone like Hilton, who has that connection to Trump? You've made this point about the sort of dancing on the head of a pin in that moment.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's going to be the next governor of California. Again, I just think if they all had better candidates, it would be a much more interesting
But why
race.
don't they?
Well,
when you say they, do you mean the Democrats?
And the Republicans.
Just say a little agree with me. I agree with David.
Reality's going to hit hard for these people.
No, absolutely. I don't think the Democratic slate is anything to write home about. But like we were,
but you won't get that exact quote.
Yeah, but
what do you make of Steve Hilton's performance and his messaging in trying to convince an electorate now that is not just Republican?
I think he had a pretty good night tonight, to be very sincere. He's leading at the top, and look, his message was simple, Alex, and good. Just a couple of three things.
Change
and now,
California.
He's going to have to figure out what the next step is going to be, because the registration is so lopsided toward the Democrat Party. How is he going to reach independents, declining states? And in order for Steve Hilton to become governor, he needs to have Democrats that are going to vote for him. So right now, it's going to be thread on the needle in the next couple of months Priceless.
The thing about Hilton is he's endorsed by Trump. And, you know, we can't forget about it. The fact that we're having this election at the same time that there's a congressional election to get a check and balance on Trump. So with all due respect to my friend, and every time I hear Hilton, he's so good, fun to listen to. I love the accent. But I think I'm in the British Parliament, and I'm thinking the guy's so rough on immigrants, and here he is, you know. So I don't really.
Let's talk about right now the race for LA mayor. We are following the results in that race. Karen Bass, the incumbent mayor, is ahead. Spencer Pratt is in second place, and in third place is City Council member Nithya Raman.
Normally, you would invite the media into what you think is going to be a victory party. Well, they just kicked all the media out. They want this to be, apparently, as they call it, a private event. So it's been unconventional from the very beginning. It is continuing that way. But Spencer Pratt has caught fire here, if you'll excuse the expression, because he has focused on issues such as those devastating wildfires that tore apart the Pacific Palisades and Altadena back in January 2025.
Something that's driven me crazy about this race. When you look at the numbers, already right now, a majority of Los Angelinos are saying they want to fire Karen Bass. 50% of the voters that are up right now say they want somebody other than the incumbent to be the mayor. So the Spencer Pratt thing, to me, isn't even really about Spencer Pratt. It's a vote sink for people who are fed up with the way that that city's been run or fed up with the fire response. And if this were any other city outside of California where you'd had normal primaries, Karen Bass with those numbers would be toast.
We are still in the era against the establishment. It's as Harvard professor Michael Sandel said, this push against these technocratic elites, the individuals who lead, who are well-educated, a ton of experience, and yet despite that experience, the broader public is saying we're rejecting that because the tangibles are no longer tangible for us. It reminds me of Bill Clinton when he gave his speech at the DNC convention in 2024, and he spoke about the average lay person. And he said people are coming to political leaders saying we have problems, solve them. And for many voters in LA, I presume that they do not feel the incumbent mayor has resolved many of their issues. And so you see someone who is non-traditional, doesn't have a lot of experience, go from 0% to 22%, while the city mayor has been flatlined for the most part. This is unnormal in most environments.
I am told we got out. Oh my gosh. Remember I said we would get a gigantic batch all at once, and we just did.
He can't handle it. His head's going to explode. Look at this.
40% of the vote, of all the votes that are going to be cast, just got released here. We are talking about
he can't handle the fact that LA and California want Spencer Pratt.
Karen Bass, the incumbent, running at 38%.
He doesn't have to beat her tonight. He just has to come in second.
That's an 8-point advantage or a 25,000 vote advantage over Nithya Raman, the third place candidate right now. Councilor Nithya Raman, the third place candidate in this race. That's with 40%.
Here's what we do know. LA voter registration numbers are only moving in one direction, and it isn't towards Democrats. GOP registration's up 14% since 2022. Dems, less than 0.5%. Even Beverly Hills, the young voters who were supposed to be a lock, they're swinging to Republicans by double digits.
Oh, of course they are.
Pratt's slashing message has landed everywhere, even in Hollywood. Half the city's ash, the other half's naked in the street.
LA, we just got LA mayor. I am told we got. Oh my gosh. Remember I said we would get a gigantic batch all at once, and we just did. So, take you through this. About 40% of the vote, of all the votes that are going to be cast, just got released here. We are talking about vote by mail, again, that arrived by Election Day. Some of this might have arrived a while ago. That's the type of vote you're talking about. There's Karen Bass, the incumbent, running at 38%, and there is Spencer Pratt, running at 28% right now. That is an 8-point advantage or a 25,000 vote advantage over Nithya Raman, the third place candidate right now. Councilor Nithya Raman, the third place candidate in this race. That's with 40% of the vote. Now remember how we said we expect things to go the rest of the way.
Remind people
in Los Angeles, right? The next thing we think, and what they've communicated, the next thing that would be released here, maybe in one big batch, would be the vote that was cast in person at polling places. And we know from past elections in Los Angeles, like that 2022 mayor's race, that was the most anti-Bass vote that there was, the vote that was cast in person on Election Day. So you would suspect that Pratt might benefit from when the election day vote is added in here, that Pratt might benefit, that he might be able to narrow this gap with Bass. Now, does
Let me first get a vibe check, if you will, with Liz Kreutz, who's in LA. And Liz, I think you have ping-ponged your way back to this gathering for Spencer Pratt, right? Talk us through it.
I have, and as I've returned, it's a much more lively vibe, and in very LA fashion. There's now a chopper flying overhead. He's having his party at a Mexican restaurant that he has loved for years. And there's some Spencer Pratt supporters here who seem in a very good mood. You guys have
Instagram, Patriot Wildman.
You guys have probably seen the latest batch of polling that just came out. Shows him doing pretty well in second place, just 10 points behind Karen Bass. How are you feeling about that? Do you feel really confident that he's going to make it to the runoff?
Definitely, he's going to make it to the runoff. There's a lot of people who already voted for him. Their votes haven't been counted yet. They voted day of the election, old school style. So I think his numbers are going to get better.
What is it about Spencer Pratt?
You got to go, but what
I don't have to go. I'm just,
We're just closing.
I almost think we just invite you guys all into the back of my facility here.
Do you see an uphill battle in the next 5 months?
Absolutely not. I think the next 5 months is I'm going to have time to build out this team to show everybody the level of Democratic supporters that I have behind me, the heavy hitters that are in this room that are all behind me. And I think this idea that I don't represent Democrats and Republicans and independents, anyone that's just a Los Angeles citizen that wants basic quality of life, I'll be able to show that in 5 months. Right now, the media likes to say, oh, he's this. I'm not that. I'm an Angelino who said enough is enough, and I had to step up. I didn't know I'd be here tonight, but it's obviously God's plan, and I'm going to go all the way, and I'm going to show everybody that I'm their mayor. I'm not going to, yes, sir.
It's absolutely incredible what has taken place yesterday and today and what is ongoing with the vote counting. It's very clear that California wants to go red. So I want to pass the question off to you. How do you feel about this? Are you happy that California is going red? Are you happy that LA is going red? It's a bit of an uphill battle, but it really looks like it is possible. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Hit the like, subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye for now.